What is going on, guys? It's Dan here from the Wolfpack, bringing you Vitor'S first victory in old gold. Oh my god, what a result that is for Wolves. I can't even begin to explain how amazing that is for Wolves. What a win, guys. We're going to talk all about it. Stick around. See you in just a sec. Before we get started, guys, do us a big favour. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I'll tell you what, today was a huge, huge game. How many times have we said that this season? We've said that Wolves have had huge games all season, and it just seems like the pressure gets ramped up more and more and more, and then it's about how you deal with that pressure. Do you know what I mean? How do you find the answers? And luckily, finally, Fosun, pulled the trigger and finally got us another manager. And this one seems to have some chops. He seems to have a bit about him. Seems to have an aura. Seems to really want to be there. You know, I've seen so many clips now with a smile on his face, and when you've got someone who wants to be in the situation that he's in, doesn't feel the pressure, that'll start to radiate over to the players as well, and that's exactly what you saw today. There's been such times being a Wolves fan where it didn't matter how many goals we were winning a game by, we were inevitably going to concede because the team just doesn't do well with pressure. And when you've got a manager that is just so calm and collective, so cool, you know, on that touchline, and you can just see he knows what he's doing. So you look over at your touchline and you haven't got to worry. And that second half, we're going to talk about the game in general in a minute, but that second half for me is something that I haven't seen from a Wolves side for a very, very long time. A side that cruises to a victory. A side that goes in after half time and thinks, right, I'll tell you what we'll do in this second half, guys. We're going to soak the pressure up, let them come at us, defend well, you know, and then break when you can. But when you've got the ball, be calm. Be calm on the ball, pass the ball around, and show these fans that there's quality in this side and there's enough here to not go down. And that's exactly what we saw today. We saw a calm and proficient Wolves performance. Really, really incredible first half. Of course, scoring 3 goals in one half is always going to give you that accolade. But what I was really, really impressed with was the things that we've not seen. The calm nature of certain players. We played out the back really well today. You know, there was one occasion, maybe two, where I thought that Sarr looked a little bit shaky with his distribution, but for the 9 time, for quite a bit of that game, he looked great. You know what I mean? We're passing the ball around the back lovely and getting out of tight situations, and players were just playing the way they should be playing. The quality of this team should not be losing to Ipswich. And that's what's frustrating. If you're a team that is littered with players of a championship level or you know, lower than that, then fair enough, you know, you take the L's every now and then. But when you've got a team like Wolves, where you can see the performance that they can achieve against the likes of Leicester and Fulham, then that's what's frustrated us for such a long time. We're going to go into the game in a minute, but it is very, very interesting, isn't it? I know. Everyone gets the new manager bounce and everything, and inevitably we're still going to probably lose games. You know, it's going to be a tough fixture next, you know, against Man United. But when you've got confidence from a manager's point of view, it spreads. It spreads over to the players, and I'm just really, really happy for him today. Really, really happy for certain players, which we're going to talk about. So let's talk about the game in general. Let's see how Wolves set up. Let's see how Vitor set us up for the first time. So we did play a back five. We played a back three of Doc, Bueno, and Gomez, but Semedo and Doc often switched, which was quite interesting actually, because we got to see the likes of both of them get forward, and then when the other person was back defending, you know, they allowed that other player to get forward, or they allowed that other player to sit back, and it really helped. We saw exactly the same thing over the other side with Totti Gomez and Rodrigo Gomez. Often Totti Gomez would be caught in no man's land in the midfield, similar position to where Andre is there on the graphic. Rodrigo Gomez then vacated this space, and very often Rodrigo Gomez came away with the ball or put it away for a corner, or did the sensible thing that a wing back has to do. And I thought he was great. I thought that system of the two changing, but getting back when need be, and getting forward when need be, and they got that bang on today. They got that bang on today, and that is pretty much where most of the goals came from. We'll talk about that in a minute. We played a midfield two of Gomez and Andre, and both of them were fairly good, to be fair. But what I liked about it was a lot of this game, Andre sort of did the dirty work in front of the defenders, and João Gomez was often flooding forward, trying to break a pass in that almost like a 10 roll at times. It was pretty cool, and what I liked about it as well is Matheus Cunha and Guedes, that were further forward as almost like wingers, were cutting inside and creating so much problems for Leicester, man. It was ridiculous. Then Strand Larsen up top, who got 6.3 apparently on here, the lowest score for Wolves. And I think the thing is with Strand Larsen, and I think a lot of people are going to say, he doesn't probably score enough goals in the position that he's in. But I'll tell you what, he's the best player in the Premier League for holding up a ball. He does that. He has statistically. Oh my God, I can't talk. Statistically, he has the highest figure for hold up play in the Premier League, and you could see that. And sometimes, especially some of the goals, he was doing some very intelligent runs that was pushing Vestergaard and Cody out of position and allowing space for Guedes and Cunha to get in behind. And he was doing that quite a lot, to be fair. So I think we should ease up on Strand Larsen. Yes, okay, he should be scoring as a number 9, I get it, but his hold-up play and his overall intelligence to offer other players space, it should not go amiss. But anyway, that's how we set up. Let's talk about the first half. So Wolves in the first half, what I really like about this figure is it's very similar. It's very similar. 4 shots, 3 on target for both sides, and an equal amount of possession, really. But the caveat is that Wolves today, we're in attacking positions. These goals don't happen under Gary O'Neill because the players don't get further forward enough. The ball isn't spread wide enough. And under Vitor Pereira already, all I can see is an evident amount of wide space being vacated. And that literally set up all 3 goals today. All 3 goals came from a wide position, whether that be a pass that was to a player that was further forward, or whether that be a bit of brilliance from the wing and then a player cutting in. All of that came from out wide, and we've been screaming for that all season. We've got some fantastic players with great ability to get forward and to stretch teams, and we just have not done that enough. And we did that all throughout the first half, and it created so many opportunities. Yeah, okay, 4 shots, but 3 on target, and 3 on target, all 3 of them were goals. You could argue that if those goals didn't happen, I think that Wolves would have pushed them even further. And I think that's exactly what, in the second half as well, I think Wolves just thought the job was done. And I think Vitor just said, you know what, don't do anything stupid. Don't make any stupid mistakes. You know what I mean? Just let Leicester play their game a little bit. Let them tire themselves out. We're comfortably in the lead. Let's try and get a clean sheet. You know what I mean? That's a huge 3 points for Wolves. But goal difference is going to matter. Goal difference is going to matter greatly in a relegation fight. And having 3 goals away from home and not conceding any, that's a +3 on goal difference. And Ipswich, you know, they let in 4 goals, was it, last night? So, you know, was it 4 goals last night? Yeah, 4 goals against Newcastle last night. So that's already helped us climb up the table slightly. So this, it cannot go understated. Winning games is great, but not conceding and scoring a plenty of goals is going to go and push us in the right direction, regardless. So a fantastic first half. Let's talk about the goals. First of all, Guedes today. I mean, I'll talk about player scores at the end, but I'm going to go out and say it. Guedes today, best performance I've ever seen him in a Wolves shirt. Best performance I've ever seen him, period. Even when he was on his loan spells, you know, in other teams. Just an absolute, just a nightmare for Leicester today. An absolute nightmare for them. They just did not know how to deal with him at all. He was all over the pitch. He was all over him. Every single time he got the ball, his first thought was to get forward. He didn't think of like a Bellegarde or whatever and stop the ball, cut back, pass back, blah, blah, blah. It was just get forward and make something happen. And that's exactly what happened for his goal. Yes, okay, there's a touch of fortune in the fact that their goalkeeper was poor today. He was. And there was a touch of fortune in the other goals, which we'll talk about in a minute. The defence was shambolic. Really bad from Leicester. But I tell you what, even when a team is struggling defensively, you still have to put them to the sword. And Wolves did that today. Wolves of old, under Gary O'Neill, would probably just about got 1 goal today. Maybe, you know, you're thinking perhaps just, you know, play for the draw, lads, you know. And I just love the proactiveness of how Vitor had us play today. And you can say over and over again, he's only had a few games. This is more on the players. And yeah, okay, the players have a great deal in what, you know, what goes on the pitch. But he's picked a great 11 today. He's picked some players today in Guedes, in Rodrigo Gomez, both on the score sheet. Guedes gets also an assist. He's picked those players today. Those players have not been picked by Gary O'Neill. He's picked our most attacking, like great players that should be doing better, and they've shown him what he can expect from them, and that is exactly what we should be doing. We should be fighting now. You know what I mean? We should be fighting these teams off and winning comfortably. We should be, with the quality we've got in this team. We should be doing this anyway. Rodrigo Gomez's goal. And we didn't really talk about Guedes' goal, did we really? Ball over the top from Semedo. Leaves a little to be desired defensively from Leicester, as I talked about. But the bounce drops nice and favourably, really, for Guedes. And he finishes really well on the half volley. Hurts himself in the process, but really great finish. You know, not even looking at where their goalkeeper is. But I don't really think it mattered today. I think their goalkeeper was extremely poor today. If Leicester fans are watching, I do feel like that was a big reason why Wolves won today. But as I said, we still need to do the thing on the pitch. You know what I mean? We still need to do it. We still need to show up and do what we need to do. And then Rodrigo Gomez gets a goal. Rodrigo Gomez, for me, today was really, really good because of, like I said earlier, he wasn't afraid to get forward because he knew back there someone was helping cover that space. He wasn't afraid to also get back when needed if Totti was out of position. And when he did get forward, people are going to say this was like a really easy finish. He still has a lot to do. Doc, great diag ball, which we've never seen, by the way. I haven't seen us play a positive diagonal ball for ages, by the way. I just haven't seen it. Great diag, switches play. Their defenders are all over the place. They don't see Rodrigo Gomez being really clever, holding his run, and, you know, beating the defender, seeing if he's going to make a mistake, and if he doesn't, then fair play, you know. But the defender doesn't make a mistake. He tries to dummy it, tries to be clever. He ends up at Guedes. He's still got a bit to do. His touch is great. Puts it off his shoulder. That puts it into his path, and then he just topples it over the goalkeeper, and it trickles into the net. Great finish. Great celebration as well. Really, really happy for him because in the pre-season he was our best player by far. Absolute wonder kid in the pre-season, and I hope we see the same from the likes of Pedro Lima because I feel like he was unbelievable as well in the pre-season. So hopefully we've got a manager now that looks at the best players and doesn't just rely on the favourites, doesn't rely on who brings him a cup of tea in the morning out of the 20 teas that he gets in a day. All of those fucking teas are probably Hwang Yi-chan and Bellegarde. So Cunha gets the third goal, and it's pretty much game over there. But it's another brilliant bit of play by Guedes. Gets to the byline and then does really, really well to keep the ball under his spell, which he did all game, by the way. He did it all game. He had that side completely his own. Looked really, really good on the ball. Great intelligent pass into Cunha. Cunha's a great finish. Again, poor goalkeeping, it's got to be said, but it's a good finish, to be fair. I don't think the goalkeeper's expecting him to shoot from there, and I think that's what sort of throws him off guard a little bit. His shape wasn't quite ready for the shot. And it's 3-0, and then the second half, I'll talk about it briefly, but not a lot happened. But what really, really impressed me was, although, you know, Leicester got more of the ball, yes, okay, Leicester had, you know, a few more shots and whatever, we still nullified them. And Wolves of old would have sat back like we normally do under Gary O'Neill, but just would have lost their heads at some point. Mistakes would have come at some point, and you could argue, okay, there was a few touchy incidents where a bit of luck went our way, or it was a bit of intelligence from a defender, you know, that cleared a ball off a line, for example, from Totti. But you know what? Defensively today, it was literally black and white. It was chalk and cheese. You know, whatever you want to say as a cliche when it comes to that, it was that today for Wolves, because we were a completely different side when it came from playing out from the back, from all of the defensive attributes that Wolves have suffered in. Even the corners that, you know, I've jokingly called penalties, we did really well from the corners. Still looks a little bit zonal, but it looks as though there's a little bit more man marking, a little bit more intelligence on what players should be where. And I'll tell you what, Kyle made some good points, and I'm going to talk about a couple of them now. Kyle said that he was quite impressed that when Jose Sarr went down injured, it's normally the players then run over to Gary O'Neill or whoever's in charge and try and make heads or tails of what they're doing right and wrong. And they didn't do that today. They all stayed on the pitch, kept themselves warm, passed the ball around a little bit, put the ball out, and then was like, right, let's carry on. Because they all knew what they were doing. And that, for me, speaks wonders. When a team knows exactly what they need to do, then you've got to give that to the manager, because the manager's telling them what to do at the end of the day. I didn't see much rogue football from Wolves today as well. Like, not a lot of players took the ball and did something dumb. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of, right, we've been told, keep it wide, stretch the pitch in attack, and when it's defence, get compact, get back, make that back five shape, and just completely defend, and then win the ball when you can, hit him on the counter. Nothing came of that today in the second half, but I tell you what, he said the best thing in his first press conference. He said, you're going to see your Wolves with identity. You saw that today. I've explained. How many reviews have I said, even if we've won football matches, how many reviews have I said that Gary O'Neill, I could see what the identity was from Wolves. It's just been Cunha doing magical things. This season, that's the only way we've won football matches, is just Cunha doing bits. Do you know what I mean? This was the first time I've seen an actual identity from Wolves this season. It looks like we're playing a really, really fluent system which uses your wing backs. You know, because they're fucking wing backs, not full backs. And you saw the best out of them. Play your players in the best places. Play your best players from the first whistle, and you will get results because we've got the quality. And that's it really. Let's talk about player scores. So player scores today, as you can see from we'll start with Sarr. Sarr today, best I've seen him for ages. Extremely confident, claiming the ball. You know, really good from crosses today. Made a little bit of a hot-headed decision when Vardy was bearing down on him. But you know what? I don't see Johnston doing that, and I think that would have been 1-0 to them. Sometimes Sarr does these things that most keepers wouldn't do. But when it actually pays off, you got to say, you know what? I understood why you did that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Johnston, I think he would have stayed on his line there, and just probably tried to hope that Bueno and Doc were going to get back in time. So Sarr today, really good. Everything he was asked for. Distribution was better, other than that one time where he kicked the ball out. Much better from Sarr. Good releases as well. Good early releases to Semedo and Rodrigo. You could see what the plan was from a get-go. Give it to the wing-backs. Let them get forward. And then I let them create this creative V in the middle. Let it do its thing. And that's exactly what happened. Doherty, not his best game, but I admire the fact that, you know what, he does the hard work, he does the graft. Great assist for the goal, and I just liked that little partnership that you were seeing from Semedo and Doc today. I thought they did really well when called upon. Thought Bueno was excellent. I don't know why Bueno's got a lower score. Thought Bueno was excellent. You know, really good man marking. And what I like about Bueno as well is when he's got the ball at his feet, I think Sarr's quite confident in playing 1-2s with him and trying to find triangles to get through through a press. And I think the same again for Totti Gomez. I know that he made a little bit of a mistake slipping, but what I really liked about Totti Gomez today is you could see there was an accident waiting to happen, because there always is with him. But I'll tell you what I really liked is he cleared the ball off the line today, and that was after he'd slipped. So he'd already made a mistake, and he thought, you know what, I'm not going to let this beat me today. I'm getting up, getting into position, and trying my best. And that's exactly what he did, and you can't really fault him for that. Semedo, I think Semedo today just goes to show, doesn't it, that if you've got a player, right, with the quality of Semedo, you use him in the right ways, and he does perform really well for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you do need him to sit back and be that extra defender, he'll do it. But Vitor has obviously seen that Doherty has got a much better physical presence than Semedo. And so he's obviously put Doc there instead. It doesn't take a genius. I don't know why we're all saying that Vitor's a genius for these moves, because you look at the bloke who's better, he's got the better attributes in defending, and you put him in there. It's not hard. Rodrigo Gomez and Andre were both absolutely excellent today in those pivot roles. Really, really strong midfielding, winning lots of battles, winning fouls when we got a little bit under pressure, releasing balls to certain players, coming back and helping out, and then getting forward as well and creating opportunities. Like, unlucky Gomez not to score a header today. On another day, that header goes into the goal, and you think that's a complete performance from a midfielder's perspective. Andre, probably the best I've seen him for a long time as well. Obviously favours that position a little bit more. Don't know what that's going to mean when Lamina comes back. I don't know whether Lamina's going to fit into this team. Is he going to shoehorn him in like we constantly saw from Gary O'Neill? Or is he going to just be like, you know what, I'm playing the best players? And that's what he should be doing. Guedes today, my man of the match. I know that Cunha's got it, because Cunha was good today. Cunha was much better today. I think he was quiet in the first part of the first half, but his quality in the second half was unreal. Basically, it was the Cunha show in the second half. He just got the ball, got us out of trouble, and then Leicester couldn't deal with him. And at points, it was just laughable because he completely broke free, and Leicester just let him just sit on the ball for 2 minutes in the centre circle having a cup of tea. It was ridiculous. Just a lot of quality and a lot of great performance from Cunha. But let's go back to Guedes, my man of the match, a 9 today. Unreal. The only thing that would have got him a 10 is if he got an extra goal, or obviously a hat-trick. That's really what gets a player a 10 for me. But he got a goal, he got a goal, got an assist, really good goal, really good assist. He gets the first goal as well, relieves a lot of pressure from the team. His position today as well, out wide. He was like an unbelievable winger, and I didn't really think that was part of his game, but obviously he's seen something Vitor has in the in the few training matches he's had, and obviously sees a winger there, and why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, we've been lacking that quality on that one side. Guedes could be the answer for that, because Cunha's obviously the answer for the other side. Strand Larson, I think we already talked about him a little bit, but unreal today, because I don't think he deserves that 6. I think a 7.5, maybe same as Andre, 7.7. That's more sort of. I think he's very unlucky, to be honest, Strand Larson there, because his hold-up play is fantastic, and if you watch the goal that Cunha scores, a lot of that is down to the fact that Strand Larson completely takes 2 of their defenders out of the way, so Cunha can just stroll past and score a goal. You've got to also have a footballing brain when you're making these scores, and you've got to look at the overall game plan. And for me, Strand Larson was there to just completely unsettle their defence, and I think he did that throughout. So yeah, an overall, an extremely, extremely positive performance from Wolves. Yes, okay, the results are all that matters really from here on out. As long as we get in wins or at least points when away from home, we're laughing. But a performance like this also goes a long way, especially in front of a new manager. The fans today, by the way, I really wish I was there today. It looked like an absolute party. So if you were there today, please let me know in the comments what it was like, because it looked awesome. Like the chants that were coming out. I mean, we were chanting the Cody chants at some points. A bunch of stuff about Vardy, which is great always. Great songs for. Guedes needs a song, by the way. If Guedes is going to keep playing this good, he needs a song. Or Guedge. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I've always thought it was Guedes, but it could be Guedge. I don't know. Or Guedes, whatever his name is. It don't matter as long as he keeps scoring goals and playing like that. Bloody hell, I'll call him whatever I want. What a bloke. Unreal performance from Wolves. Great to see some identity. Great to see some belief and some hope and some creativity and all the fantastic things you'd see on paper for this side. That's what you'd expect. That's exactly what you'd expect against a weaker Leicester side. And no offence to Leicester, because I think they were poor today. I do. If the Leicester fans are watching, I think you'll agree. Leicester were very poor today. Some extremely poor performances, but you've got to capitalise on those things, and Wolves haven't done that this season. We haven't capitalised on poor performances from an opponent. So, all in all, guys, fantastic win, great 3 points, and hopefully this is something that we can take into the game against United, who lost again today at Old Trafford to Bournemouth, who were a great side, to be fair, to Bournemouth. But you know what? When there's positive and with a very rowdy Molineux, I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be a rowdy Boxing Day at Molineux. We could turn over United, and then you're thinking, you know what? We're out of the bottom 3 for Christmas, or at least for New Year. A great win. Obviously, you know, there's still a lot to do. One win against Leicester's not going to keep us up or whatever, but it's a great win, and it can't be understated. It really can't. I know that people are going to think it's just Leicester. You know, you've still got to win the game. You've still got to perform. You've still got to show some quality, and we did that today. So, guys, if you like that, do us a big favour. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, ring that notification bell so you don't miss future videos, and I'll see you on the next one. In a bit, guys. Bye.